Hey everybody, welcome to another webisode of the Love and Black Love Show. It is Christmas time around here, as you can see, or it's getting there. We got a few more days till Christmas. Still got some Christmas shopping to do.
Like 8 more days.
8 more days? God dang, time is flying. It's crazy. It's crazy out there. But anyway, how you guys doing? This is your host, the Chocolates, the Ebony-licious, Dion, Chocolate Thunder, boom, Joseph, and this is my beautiful wife.
Tosha Joseph, welcome to another episode, everybody.
Hey, and today, we're going to talk about something that's, pretty common in relationships, arguments, And we just want to say to y'all out there that if you're going to fight right, okay? There's a good way to argue. Arguments happen in relationships. Nobody's perfect. If you don't have an argument in your relationship, I worry about the time that you're going to have an argument in your relationship. So they're going to come, but you got to do it a certain way. It's got to be a certain way where it doesn't scar you, leave scars, or hurt your feelings, or, or just wreck your relationship.
Right,
so,
no hitting below the belt.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
What that
So we're gonna give you some rules, some ground rules, next time you have an argument. Okay. One of the things that we do is whenever we have a really bad argument, we stay in contact. Many moons ago, when I first met her.
Her. I don't have a name right now. It's her.
Her. Because you guys haven't given her a name, and I'm still waiting for a nickname.
It's Tosha.
I got Chocolate Joy, but I still need something down there. I need some more suggestions. I like the dark berry myself.
Okay.
But anyway, all right. But one of the things when we first met, we used to do was whenever I made her mad, pissed her off to the highest of festivity.
And I didn't want to be touched. I didn't want to be talked to. I didn't want to look at him. Nothing.
What I would do is I would grab her by the hand, take her to the mall, and walk around the mall with her, holding her hand. And I did it for a specific reason, mainly because that's what I saw my parents do for 47 years. Well, not 47, I can only remember 30-something years of it. But anyway, that's what I saw my parents do. They held hands, they stay in contact with each other. So I tried the same thing, So I walk with her, and I know she hated my guts at the time. I know she wanted to throw me off a building, kick me, set me on fire. Didn't matter. I had to hold her hand. And the reason why I did
this.
Like that.
So I kept my hand like this.
Ooh.
The entire time I was upset because I didn't want to talk to him, I didn't want to touch him, and he wouldn't go away.
No.
Because most of the time, that's what we want women. We want them to leave us alone,
No,
allow us to go through our process. Stop. Allow us to go through our process, give you a moment, give me a moment, then we can come back.
Yeah.
But no.
But
By the time we left, it was open, but it started off like this.
And the reason why I did that is because no matter how mad she was, or no matter how mad I was at her, I wanted to remind her, and I needed to remind myself that the person that I'm angry at right now is somebody who I said I love. So even though we're upset and the emotions are raw, I'm holding her hands to remind her and remind me that I love this person, regardless of the outcome of this argument, whether I win it or lose. This is somebody I love. This is somebody I'm not trying to hurt. I would get angry. I'd want to take my laser beam.
He said at one point he wanted to put a couch in my mouth.
Well, see, I don't believe in.
Say that?
I don't believe in slapping women.
A couch stuffed in my mouth.
Well, I'll explain that. I don't believe in slapping women or punching women or kicking women. Anybody who does that to me is a coward. But in my mind,
but you could stuff a couch.
I found a cartoonish way I could deal with a woman, and that is picking up a big couch and throwing it into her mouth. Now I know it's not possible,
right.
But it's extreme. But I can't do that, and it's never been done. But anyway.
I also say when we say don't hit behind the belt, you have to remember that the words that you say are actually much more damaging than being physical most of the time, because they stay there. You rarely do you recover from someone calling you a horrible name. You're always going to remember that. So you want to try not to hit below the belt, and make sure you remember that that is the person that really should, or at least you said at some point, means the most to you. Mm-hmm. So to say some horrible thing that would cut them and have them scarred should be a no deal.
Yeah, hitting below the belt is basically, she's the only woman in the world that can hurt me. She's the only person in the world that can hurt me like nobody's business, and vice versa. I know things about her past, her personality. I know things that can trigger her, that can cut her deep if I wanted to say them, but I love her. And she knows things about me that would kill me, that would literally kill me if she says to me, or if she brought it up, and those things happen in fights today. People just get cold-blooded with it. And you don't want a simple disagreement to turn into a long, deep scar that doesn't go away in time. You've just dealt with one issue, but now you have this whole other issue of you saying something abusive or cruel.
That you'll never forget.
They'll never forget. It's a scar. And scar, look, I got scars on my body. This scar I've had since 19 years old, okay? But it pales in comparison to the physical. Because I forgot about this. I'm only reminded about this when I look at it, okay? But that internal scar that your mate, that someone you love can give to you, that's hard to get rid of. So let's keep it above the belt. Don't make it so personal to where, you know, your arguments turn into something ugly.
And try not to call names. Not just saying stuff that can hurt each other, but calling names. And all this time, almost 18 years or so that we've been together, he's never called me out of my name. And I've never called him out of his name. And that makes a difference. That really matters. That I can say, being married 16 years, having 3 kids and, you know, living life with him, that he's never called me horrible names.
Yeah. I thought it a couple times.
You thought it?
You know, if you ever see me look at you like this, I'm saying it.
You better not.
I'm saying it.
Okay.
Ooh, I just said something right now.
He didn't say anything.
He
wouldn't say anything. So anyway, we're gonna soon to close this, but we wanted
no,
to
we're not, because we got a couple more.
Well, he called me a name, so I figured we should close so I could deal with it. But go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to kiss.
Wow.
Go.
See, I done made her mad. Let me hold her hand. But anyway, we have to talk about ways to resolve arguments. Not just physical contact, but the ways you argue could scar. If you are a couple that likes to yell, I see couples all the time yelling at each other, hollering at each other in the street, in public, whether they're cussing or not, and it's just so ugly. If you have an issue with yelling, a suggestion I would have, one of the reasons why I would take her to the mall is because we're around people. We're around people, okay?
But see, sometimes people don't care.
That's
So
sometimes. I was going to get to that.
Right.
Sometimes, but for most people, that works. You're in a public place. You don't want people and the police looking at you like you're crazy when you're arguing. But for those, if the mall doesn't work, if a public park doesn't work, go to a library. Go to a library. Sit there in a library where if your voice octave raises a certain level, you're going to have some woman with a bun and some glasses shushing you. Shush it. Shush it right now. You don't want that, okay? So while you're in there, it forces you to talk at a low level and get it out. And now the last thing I want to tell you guys is this. When you have a disagreement, don't argue to win or be right. Because it's human nature for men and women who are opposites, opposite sex, opposite emotions, opposite everything, to want to win every battle. And all you do, if you argue to win and that argument stops right then, all you've done is taken a time out. That's it. Because guess what? The next day your mate's going to wake up and they're going to want to one-up you. It never stops. Don't argue to win or be right. Argue to find the solution to your problem. That's what your goal is. Your goal is a solution, and by that, sometimes you have to analyze things, take your emotions out of it, and just look at things as they are. And admit if your mate is right about something, just acknowledge it and admit it. Okay, you know, and vice versa. Take your pride out of it. That's the bottom line I wanted to tell you. When you're arguing, take your pride out of it, and look towards fixing it, not being right, because nobody wins that way. Nobody wins that way. So that's all I got, baby, for that. So
that's all you got?
That's all I got.
So don't call them out of their names. Fight fair.
Right.
Don't hit below the belt.
Don't hit below the belt.
Stay
Don't cuss.
connected. Don't cuss. Stay connected.
Just
Don't
like that.
hold hands. So even ladies, when you start off like this, because this is, I don't want to talk to you. You're touching me. You're touching me. I don't want it.
Just hold them.
You hold them.
Until it
There's
gets
times too I go like this. Give me your hand.
Yeah, sure.
I'll do this. I'll give it a little finger.
Yeah, I'll touch you, dirty bastard.
Right.
Yeah, I got that.
I don't ever call the name.
Yeah, I know that's
you
what you're
never
thinking.
call the names.
Yeah.
And because you want to make sure that you can come back from it, because this is the person you love. Unless you plan on never, ever seeing that person again in your life, then you can say whatever you want. But if you are with this person and you love this person.
Ooh, it started with a ooh. I'm sorry.
So we hope that you check us out. Check out our website at www.lovinblacklove.com, and we have a radio show at blogtalkradio.com/lovinblacklove. That's Monday and Friday nights at 8:00 p.m. Send us your comments, your concerns. You know, talk to us. We're your family. So until then.
And until then, God bless you. And also, go find somebody black, whether you're arguing with them, whether you're fighting for it or not. Put your arm around them, shake their hand, give them a hug, and tell them you love them. And then go share that with love with the rest of the world.